All right, perfect. All right, welcome back here into the USLW Detroit City FC recap show number 2. And just like that, David Duehe, you have DCFC at 2-0 in the USLW.
Yeah, we're pretty thrilled with the start. Did not expect to be where we're at, but very happy with it. When you start the season 2 games against a team like Flint, you're just hoping to get something out of both games, and to get the win both times was a little bit beyond our expectations, but we're really, really pleased, and we thought the women showed a lot of resilience both games and earned both results. So we're really pleased with our standing right now.
So let's talk about this game. Obviously, last week you went out to Atwood Stadium. You come away with a gritty 1-0 victory. Off of that goal coming in from Emily Paget. Lily Jekyll had a fantastic game in her own right. This week on Saturday, in front of your home crowd, a very raunchous and particular and usual Northern Guard fan group there. Talk about this matchup and really what it's like to play at home.
Yeah, we love it. I mean, and I think I would like to think both teams love it. It's such a unique opportunity to play in front of thousands of fans at this level. The support is obviously directed our way, but I just think the environment that it provides is really special for a pre-professional player, for these college players who are hoping to maybe play at that next level one day. For our younger players in high school, still, it's an unbelievably rare opportunity. For the most part, when they're playing even their most competitive games, it's just family watching. So to jump into an intense atmosphere like that, we hope that it really serves them and sets them up it prepares them for what will one be the environment that they're playing in regularly. We definitely fed off it on Saturday. I thought we started a little bit under the gun. Flint came out, really, really strong. They kind of, in my opinion, from the look of things, they changed just a little bit how they were approaching the game. It seemed like they were almost playing with 4 players in really advanced positions, and so we had to adjust. And while we adjusted, we struggled. But I think we kind of got a foothold in the game after the first 10 minutes or so, and then started to gradually get a couple chances going the other way, which made a big difference, because it felt initially like it was going to be a long night and in a very, kind of bunkered in sort of game. But we were able to come out and make some things happen. And then I think we grew into the game from there.
We talk a lot about this here on the network about, opportunistic, right? Being opportunistic. And I'm sure that's something that you probably talk about with your players a lot as a coach. And that's exactly what the 20th minute goal was for Detroit City FC on Saturday. Opportunistic, right? A miscue happens defensively, which in turn allows Ciampa to get into the box and poke one by the goalkeeper and North Put.
Yep. Yeah. It kind of came from nothing. We had actually had, in my opinion, we had 2 really good chances, in the minutes prior, actually 3. I thought Tatiana Mason played in a beautiful left-footed cross that just hit Lily Bosley's foot wrong. It's happened to all of us, where it just kind of like hits the back part of your foot, goes astray, but she was like right in on goal. And then she won a header that was like cleared from the goal line. Lily Bosley did minutes later. And then Aubrey hit that bomb from far away that hit the corner of the post. So we had chances prior to the goal, and I was like, man, it's just, even though Flint was taking it to us, I was like, we're unlucky not to be in the lead at this point. And then that goal really did come from kind of a broken play. I think Lily saved it from going out after a cross, and then I think Katie Murphy put the ball back in. She had an amazing game. Like, her placement of her passes was exquisite, and I think it was initially a really good ball that just sort of got mishandled and squeaked through, and like you said, a little bit of a miscue for the Flint back line, and Aubrey was there to just pounce on it. And opportunistic indeed. We were really pleased with, because she was playing in a more advanced position. She was playing up front for us, and she showed that goal scorer's instinct there.
That they did. And, talking about this last week, the player of the match, woman of the match was Lily Jekyll, 15 years old. We talked about her. I had a chance to speak with her last week. This week, you not only does Ciampa have the first goal, but she's got the second goal as well. The youth of this team is really coming through here in spades right now in the early going of this season.
Yeah, very much so. I think when you kind of categorize the performance as a whole, we really relied heavily on our veteran players to keep us in the game both weeks and to keep things balanced and settled. And then we we called upon our younger players to be the difference makers in those little moments where something special needs to happen. And they were the ones that, that produced the goals essentially. And so I think we've got a really nice balance of youth and experience where hopefully if we continue to play as well as we've been playing, we can compete with teams like Flint because we've got that, that stability in our veteran leadership and then the exciting, potential with the young players.
No question about that. And we mentioned obviously just a moment ago that Ciampa had obviously not one but two goals in this game. So in the again looking at this, and I didn't have a chance to see the game live. We were covering games on Saturday, unfortunately, so I didn't get to see the chance this game live. But this goal coming in the second half for Ciampa, and again another opportunity that Paget was the one that created this assist and puts one home here. In the second half here for you guys go up 2-0.
Yeah, and it started with Ella Offer, our left back throughout the game. I thought she had an outstanding game. She had just joined us this past week. She got herself to some training sessions. We really were impressed with her right away and gave her the start. She deserved it and she embraced it. She won a tackle at midfield, immediately played it to Paget, and I think Flint was kind of caught in transition. Emily ran at the back line really intelligently, like she kind of slowed herself down at the end to set up for a little move, got to the left. I think she sort of surprised their goalie by shooting it near post. I think Peyton was sort of shifting because Aubrey was making the run, and then the ball sort of I think it hit their goalie, bounced, and Aubrey put it away for good measure. But it was very much a goal created by Ella Offer and Emily Paget. And again, Aubrey was just had that killer instinct, got herself into a great position in the box. I think distracted the defense and the goalkeeper as Paget did her thing, and then benefited from the loose ball in the area.
They say that in order to win games, win championships, win tournaments, you have to have great defense, great goalkeeping. And, Shriver has been a staple in the back for Detroit City FC for many, many years. And she came up big here, not once, but multiple times throughout this game. You talked about it in the write-up after the game, but talk about how important it is to have a player for Detroit City FC with as much experience as Gabby Shriver and to have her back in the net here for you this season.
Yeah, she's been incredible for us. Her leader, I'll speak first about her leadership. Like she's just got that veteran presence. Everyone really respects her and admires her. She's kind, she's welcoming. She was the obvious choice to be our captain this year. And I will say also, she cares more about this thing than pretty much anyone I can imagine. Like it's always like every game is starred on her calendar. She moves things around to make herself available. Her commitment is extraordinary, and I think it really helps us establish that same expectation of commitment from the younger players. And a lot of times in these summer league teams, you get a lot of coming and going, and the commitment isn't always great, which is understandable, especially from the college players. You want them to enjoy their summer. But when you have a leader like Gabby Shriver, who's making every effort to be at everything she can be at, then I think the younger players take notice and follow suit. She absolutely won us that game. I thought the first half she had to do a few things, but in the second half in particular, we were up 1-0, and Bella Gaetino got in one-on-one, and Gabby held her ground, caught the shot, which to me was impressive in itself because a rebound there probably leads to a goal anyway. That really kept us in it. 1-0. We were able to extend it 2-0, and then she made 2 or 3 really impressive saves down the stretch. And then, lest we forget, when it was 2-1, dying moments of the game, what proved to be the last play of the game, they got in. Somehow we kind of had a little lapse, and they got in, and she made a great save coming across the box, and just absolutely. And you could see from her reaction, I think she knew in that moment, like, that was big. And, I think a draw we would have been happy with a draw if you had asked me before the game. But at that point, we felt like, this was our game, our lead to protect. And she absolutely stepped up when we needed her most. So she was, for me, Aubrey was a deserved player of the match, but I thought Gabby was definitely a big unsung hero.
In the 85th minute, Flint was able to get a goal and pull one back. And they can say it's a consolation goal or whatever it might be, but hey, a goal. One thing we always talk about, and I know that when I ask coaches this question, and we have conversations about the 2-0 lead, the dreaded 2-0 lead, right? No one ever, at least in my experience as a former coach, as a player, being up 2 goals, you were always in the back of your mind, you're going, hey, we need to get that third. That third is so much more important for us, because if they score a goal, that gives them momentum, and now it's a race. It just, the game changes at that point in time. That 85th minute goal goes in. Are you as a coach going, oh, we have to double down here? What's the mindset in that moment when they finally push one through in the 85th minute?
Yeah, it was one of those games where, given how open it had been at times, when we went up 2-0, I think if you had asked me then, like, are they going to get one? I would have said probably. You just kind of had the sense Flint was going to find a way to make it interesting. And so for me, it was more about like, let's prolong that as much as possible. And as we got into the 80th minute, I was feeling really good because we had made some substitutions where we were really able to shore things up. Players had, especially in our midfield, had done some tireless running throughout the game. And we had the luxury of being able to sub in Danny Steffen and Sarah Tricoli, both of whom are extremely experienced defensive midfielders. And I thought they came in and really like settled us down. And through a phase of the match where I was worried it might get a little frenetic, they were just like adults out there and pulling the strings. And we didn't get like any great scoring chances, but we maintained possession. We maintained possession in Flint's half a little bit. And so I just felt like this is perfect. We just need to kind of like kill this game off long enough to be in a good position in that final stretch. And, sure enough, Sammy Woods hit a firecracker of a goal. Like, I mean, an amazing strike, a well-deserved goal. Once it went in, I was like, okay, here we go, 5 minutes, and then they added 4. So of course it's more than you plan for. But I thought we did a really nice job in that final stretch, like not panicking too much. A couple of our, more seasoned players, did some things that you hope for in those moments: run the ball to the corner, kill 30 seconds here and there, a little bit of game management. And we kept on our feet for the most part. One thing we had talked about before the game and again at halftime, like, let's not give up fouls in our end. You got a player like Bella on the ball. They're going to be dangerous. And I thought we did a pretty good job avoiding committing any silly fouls and just not diving in and keeping our shape. So though it was really nervous at the end and they had that really good chance that Gabby had to save, I thought we saw the game through pretty well. And at 2-1, in some ways, I think it helped us like really lock in defensively and make sure we saw it through.
No, it makes sense, and obviously you get away with a 2-1 win here on Saturday, and you're sitting atop the table in the Great Lakes Division with 6 points, as you see there on the bottom of the screen, and you're going in now and taking on, or you're at home now on Thursday, taking on the Michiana Lions. Obviously they were the South Bend Lions last year. Now they're the Lioness. Talk about this upcoming matchup here on Thursday. I know this game was originally scheduled for you guys to go into South Bend this weekend. But that ended up changing.
Yeah, just a last minute schedule issue where we kind of had to change venues for the two fixtures. Dates remain, but they're coming to us on Thursday. On a personal level, I'm relieved with the change because I'm still in the midst of the teaching season here, and so not going to South Bend on a Thursday night is actually very appealing. But I think we'll have a really good group available for the match. A number of the players that played against Flint last weekend are out this week. Just a lot of the college players, they'll travel for a week or two in the summer. And so we'll have to rotate the squad a bit. But I think we'll be very strong. And I think there's a really good vibe right now. Everybody's very excited and positive. And, you want to ride that wave as long as you can. But we really know very little about Michiana. And so we're going to prepare for another very, very tough battle. And a team that will likely raise their level because they're playing in the environment that we've become used to. So looking forward to seeing how it goes. Really, I have very little sense for them. I know that part of the Midwest produces and houses some fantastic talent. You got Notre Dame right there, a number of those Indiana colleges and universities. So I'm sure they're drawing from a talent pool similar to what we have access to here in the Detroit area. And so, I'm looking forward to the matchup.
And that match taking place this Thursday night at Keyworth Stadium, 7 p.m. You can watch that game live on YouTube. Jarrett Mackey on the call. love what Jarrett Mackey's doing there with Detroit City FC on the media side as well as his play-by-play. We will be at Flint City AFC this weekend as they welcome in the Cleveland Force, so we'll see that game on Saturday night. But David, man, we appreciate you stopping by here today. You're sitting atop the table with 6 points. Right now, you guys are in command of the Great Lakes, Great Lakes Division. You're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you've got to be real careful with the success, and we are doing our best as a coaching staff, and I think the players too. You can tell like everyone's feeling that like, hey, we're off to a great start, but it would be a real shame. It'd be even more of a shame now if we like rested on our laurels or got complacent. And so we had a scrimmage last night. We'll train tonight, and I'm hoping for a very intense, focused vibe there. Because when you have some success early in a season, there's great opportunity, but it's also the potential to fall a little bit and to start to spiral out of control with some frustrating performances or poor results. And so we want to do our best to kind of stay where we're at, continue to put pressure on teams like Flint and those other teams that are emerging toward the top of the table. And if we can continue to post good results and play well, that would hopefully carry through the season, because it's short and sweet. And if you can get hot and stay hot, you got a shot. So we're looking to do that.
That's right. David, thank you very much again. We'll be back here again next week for another recap of the USLW Detroit City FC matches and take a look ahead at their upcoming match, league standings, and more.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. Really appreciate it. And we'll look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thank you very much, David. All right. And hold. Let's